Every day, millions of people ask artificial intelligence questions, create images, generate ideas, and use machines to solve problems that once required human intelligence. But behind all of this is a fascinating mystery. How can a machine learn something it was never directly taught? A machine was never born, it never went to school, never experienced the world, and never learned the way humans do. Yet today, artificial intelligence can write stories, recognize faces, understand speech, and even help programmers create software. This is the kind of mystery we explore on Curiosity Quest, where we uncover the hidden stories behind science, technology, and the world around us. To understand how artificial intelligence learns, we first need to look at how computers worked before modern AI existed. Traditional computer programs depended on instructions written by humans. Programmers created rules, and computers followed those rules exactly. A calculator is a simple example. When we enter 5 plus 5, the computer does not learn mathematics. It simply follows instructions that humans have already created. This approach works extremely well for predictable problems. But the real world is much more complicated than a fixed set of rules. Imagine trying to create a program that can recognize every possible human face. The computer would need rules for different angles, different lighting conditions, different expressions, different hairstyles, and even changes as people grow older. The number of possible situations would become impossible to describe with human written instructions. The same problem appears everywhere. How do we create rules for every possible sentence in every language? How do we describe every object and every situation a machine might encounter? Scientists realized that instead of teaching computers every single rule, maybe computers could learn patterns from examples. This idea created machine learning. Instead of programming every decision manually, humans provide large amounts of data and examples. The system analyzes this information and discovers patterns that help it make predictions. A spam filter is a simple example. Nobody writes a separate rule for every unwanted email. Instead, the system studies thousands or millions of examples of spam and normal messages, learning patterns that help it identify new emails. The machine is not memorizing every example, it is learning relationships hidden inside the data. But artificial intelligence does not see the world the way humans do. When we look at a picture, we immediately recognize objects in it. We see a cat, a person, or a beautiful landscape. A machine sees something very different. An image is converted into millions of numerical values called pixels. These numbers represent colors, shapes, and patterns that the AI system can analyze. For humans, it is a picture. For AI, it is mathematical information. Modern AI systems use neural networks. These systems are inspired by the way biological neurons in the human brain process information. However, they are not copies of the human brain. They are mathematical systems made of connected layers that transform information. So, how does an AI system actually learn? The process begins with prediction. Imagine showing an AI a picture and asking, "Is this a cat?" The AI might predict that there is a 70% chance it is a cat, but if the correct answer is 100%, the system has made a mistake. This difference is called an error. The AI uses this error to adjust its internal connections slightly. A process called backpropagation helps determine which parts of the network contributed to the mistake and how they should change. This process repeats millions or even billions of times. It is similar to learning a skill like shooting a basketball. You attempt a shot, observe the mistake, adjust your movement, and try again. Through repeated improvement, the system becomes better at recognizing patterns. But where does an AI model store what it has learned? It does not store knowledge like a human library full of answers. Instead, AI models contain billions of numerical values called parameters or weights. Think of these as billions of tiny adjustment knobs inside the system. During training, these values are changed again and again until the model becomes better at understanding patterns. A human learns from experiences. An AI model learns from mathematical relationships hidden inside enormous amounts of data. Artificial intelligence did not become powerful overnight. Three major forces came together to create the modern AI revolution. The first was massive amounts of digital data. The second was powerful computing hardware, especially GPUs, that can perform enormous numbers of calculations quickly. The third was improved algorithms that allowed neural networks to learn deeper and more complex patterns. Together, these three forces transformed AI from a research idea into a technology changing the world. Large language models change the way humans interact with artificial intelligence. These models learn from enormous collections of text, including books, articles, websites, and computer code. A simple example is autocomplete on your phone. When you type happy births, your phone predicts that the next word is likely to be day. Large language models work on a much more advanced version of this idea. They analyze billions of relationships between words and concepts, learning patterns that allow them to generate human-like responses. ChatGPT does not contain a list of answers written by engineers. Instead, it learns patterns from massive amounts of information during training. When you ask an AI assistant a question, it is not searching a database for a stored answer. Instead, the model uses patterns learned during training to generate a response. It predicts what information should come next, one piece at a time, until a complete answer is created. For example, when you ask, "Why is the sky blue?" the AI is not remembering one specific answer. It is generating a response based on the relationships and patterns it learned during training. Artificial intelligence is powerful, but it does not think like humans. It does not experience emotions, create memories, or understand the world through personal experiences. AI is extremely good at finding patterns and producing useful results. But because it works through patterns, it can sometimes generate information that sounds correct but is actually wrong. This happens because AI predicts what is likely, not because it truly understands reality like a human. Understanding this difference is important. AI is powerful, but intelligence is more than prediction. It also includes experience, judgment, creativity, and purpose. Artificial intelligence is not magic. It is the result of mathematics, data, algorithms, computing power, and human innovation. The machines we build today are becoming more capable every year. But the future of AI will not only depend on how intelligent machines become, it will depend on how wisely humans choose to use them. The world is filled with questions hiding in plain sight. From artificial intelligence to the mysteries of science and technology, every discovery begins with curiosity. This was Qriosity Quest. Subscribe and join us for another journey into the hidden stories behind the world around us. Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning, and keep exploring.